Hello and welcome back into my cozy channel and welcome to the June vlog. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we are like halfway through the year. Where did the time go? This year has been, there's a lot of words that could be used to describe this year for me. But it is the 6th of June today. It is a Saturday. I am excited to finish this painting this weekend. That is going to happen. I've also got some fun other crafty things happening around my home. I'm finally going to get onto that blanket box and start doing up my living room space a little bit. Dining room space is what I mean. It's living dining. So I want to make it more of a cozy area for when I have people over. And in about, less than an hour's time, in nearly half an hour, I am going to be popping on my friend's podcast. So my friend Kate Louise, she is an author. She's based here in Canberra now. That's how we met. And she's just started up a new podcast called A Women's Right. And it is all her interviewing other creative women, asking them about their creative practice, their life, and I'm just really excited to have a chat with her. It'll be the second podcast I've ever done. The first podcast I did was, sometime last year. I think it only got released this year though, and it was kind of similar vibe. It was me talking about my creativity, but my journey through art and through healing through art, and I'll pop a link in the description below both to the podcast, this podcast, if she's released it. If not, I will just put my last podcast episode as well that I participated in. So really excited for that, really excited to be painting, and really happy that it is a long weekend here. Just that extra day really makes a difference, especially when you work full time, run a business like this. I need to get the May vlog edited because it goes up on Monday. I'm finally going to sit down and do some admin work, which feels very apt for getting to the end of financial year and kind of sorting your shit out. That's where I am at here in June. And we are finished filming the podcast. That was so lovely and so nice to just have a chat in between filming with Kate. She's a lovely human being. And now I need to be getting on with my day. I've been juggling filming a little bit, mostly filming for socials, as I have been preparing and painting the blanket box. So this is not the final colour. This is a primer coat. I'm going to be doing 2 primer coats, and then I get to the colour, which I'm not going to I was going to say I'm not going to reveal what it is. I have a sneaking suspicion I've already revealed what colour I'm going to paint it. Oh well. If I haven't, it's a surprise. If I have, you know what I'm going to be painting it. So that is the first step for the dining space. I need to leave time for it to dry. It's already the afternoon, so I don't know that I'll get a second primer coat on it. Maybe tonight, before I can do the colour. Tomorrow is shaping up to be a very busy day. I'm actually going to go help a couple of friends paint one of their walls for the morning, and then I'm off to that ice hockey in the afternoon, which I'm super excited for. So this may have to pause and then be picked back up on Monday because yay, it's a public holiday. So that's probably what the rest of the weekend's going to look like. Monday the 8th of June, as you can see, and from the little sneak preview I gave you of me painting this, the blanket box has received its first coat of colour. It's a little bit patchy in spots, so it definitely needs a second coat, but I think 2 coats and I'll be right. But I am absolutely obsessed. That word is really overused these days, including by me, but it's really true. I am obsessed with this colour, and this colour with the yellow bookcase, chef's kiss. I cannot wait. I do think I'm going to make a cushion. So I'm going to do that. And even with that and doing a few illustrations on the table like I talked about, it's just going to bring just a little bit more whimsy to the space, even without doing anything like a gallery wall. I think that'll be a later project. I am filming this for social media to try and do a bit of a behind the scenes, kind of come decorate my space with me reel, trying to do what I can to grow a little bit more. And I also just love creating those and watching those myself. So if you want to see more of the progress, I've been prioritizing filming that for social media. So head on over to my Instagram. By the time you're watching this, I should have edited and uploaded it. So yeah, unfortunately I do have to wait a little bit of time, and I was having a restful morning, so I won't have enough time to do a second coat today. I am going to go do some painting on the Edinburgh Castle now, because that's my other priority for today, and there's plenty of daylight left for me to maybe finish this. You just have to keep watching to find out. On the phone recording because I've run out of memory space on my DJI, but I want to capture my raw reaction in this moment because I just finished the Edinburgh Castle painting. I had to take it out of the studio light a couple of times into different lighting. It's starting to get dark, curse this time of year. But I had to take it out, and also just to give my eyes a break. So this is something that I do sometimes, is my art teacher taught me this actually in high school. Stop looking at it for a moment. So just walk away, close the eyes, kind of just clean the slate kind of thing, and then turn around and have a look at it with fresh eyes and what sticks out to me first. For that kind of last bush in the bottom left-hand corner, I just wanted to make sure it felt right. So it took a couple of times of doing that, but it's gotten to that stage where it's I could keep fiddling, but I'm probably going to wreck it if I do, which is kind of exciting. So it's done. I just have to sign it. In the bottom right-hand corner, as I always do, which is also something my art teacher taught me. I remember he taught us that artists do that. And then years later, after I'd finished high school, he was doing professional development for other teachers, and he was doing it for some teachers at my dad's school. My dad was a principal, and I sat in, and he disclosed that he tells students this, but it's actually to make it easier for him to look and figure out which student did what artwork, because it's all in the same bottom right, puts them in a pile, they're all in the corner. But that stuck with me. Putting my signature in any other corner is nigh on impossible now, all because he was making life easier for himself, which I completely applaud. Teachers have a hard job. Anyway, I'm sitting on the floor, hence the slightly funny angle, because I got my 3 artworks out that I've painted so far for a traveler's journal. The 3 big acrylic pieces at least. I've done a few small ones. But let me show you. So here are my beauties sitting together. I haven't even shown you this one properly. I'll do a proper reveal video another day, maybe on Wednesday. But how cool do they look all together? Honestly, I'm really, really happy. I know with this Metsa Kabalu finished forest one, You can see how the light is really reflecting on the darkest parts of it, making it very difficult to capture. I've got a similar issue with this right-hand corner of this painting, which I kept quite dark and subtle. That's going to be so much fun to capture. And I really do think seeing these all together, I'm most proud of my first one, to be honest. As much as I love each of them for different reasons, I just think the skill that I've used in the Parisian one, the detail, the level of detail, took so much effort. You know, if you watch the vlogs, you know, it took a lot of hours of painting. And I think both of these also took quite a lot of hours of painting. You maybe can't tell it as much, especially not the finished forest one. If you know, you know. If you don't, go back and watch the vlogs to see how many times I went over some of those layers. And Edinburgh Castle, I think Edinburgh Castle came together a lot more naturally than I anticipated. So yeah, love each of them in their own ways. And yeah, they were the three big pieces that were grounding my collection, and now it's to maybe do some smaller ones. I don't know, I'm loving doing the bigger ones. We'll see what happens next. It is Friday, the 12th of June. You're getting a 2-for-1. I'm about to film the Edinburgh Castle reveal for socials and for you. And I'm wearing my skirt that I made last month, which I ran out of time to film and record. Hold on, let me put you even lower so you can see the full effect of this gorgeous swishy long wool blend skirt that I made. I absolutely adore it. It is a half circle skirt, so it's got a little bit of twirlability, but it wasn't an exhausting amount of fabric to sew, which I discovered from the last full circle skirt that I did. And I absolutely adore it, and I think it is the perfect outfit to wear as I reveal the Edinburgh Castle. So let me bring you up to a more appropriate height and let me grab it. I'm going to film yours first, and then I'm going to film for socials. So, you ready to see it? Introducing cúrie, which is a Scottish term for nestled in, cozied up in, and I think both that is appropriately named for this autumnal scene. It is how I felt walking around the streets of Edinburgh. But also I love that the castle itself is kind of nestled in the nature, not just in this painting, but in general. That's how I always saw it walking around Edinburgh looking up at the castle. So this is cúrie. I'm definitely looking to make prints of it. I don't usually do that with my larger artworks, which I think I've talked about on the vlog before, but I love this one so much. And there have been artworks in the past where I think I've really regretted not getting a file that I could use for prints and other products. Maybe if you think there's anything else you would love to see this on. I would really love to do a puzzle. I need to do a lot of research on that because I've already got people interested in buying the original, and there is a lot of interest in this artwork. And I want to make sure that if someone wants it in their home, I want them to have it, because it means they've made a connection with this artwork, and that is the most special thing to me. So, Edinburgh Castle is done. I'm now going to be refocusing my attention on watercolours. I have a series of little postcard artworks, which I have shown in either last month's vlog, the one before that. So I'm doing those. I also want to do some smaller acrylic pieces. I really wanted these first 3 acrylic artworks to be my hero pieces of the collection, to represent the 3 big locations from my most recent trip. I have also done a bit of travel in Switzerland, and I may do another big painting based off one of those photos. That's kind of spur of the moment. I've just thought of that and I was like, why have I not captured Switzerland? That was my family's first trip overseas to Europe. Switzerland was one of the locations we spent about a week and a half in, and I loved it. Yeah, I might have to do that. And you know, you can't keep me away from the big canvases for too long because I'm just really loving doing those. But I'm feeling excited to get back into watercolours. So be prepared, the rest of this vlog is hopefully going to be featuring a lot more watercolour painting. Alright, I'm going to go film for socials now. I absolutely adore this colour. I've already got the fabric picked out for the cushion and I'm going to go get that this weekend. And I cannot wait to see it over in that corner. Happy Saturday, the 13th of June? Something of June. I've just gotten home. I caught up with a friend and then did a little bit of shopping for my dining nook, and I got the foam and the material for the cushion cover to sit on the blanket box. I love it. It's, oh, let me show you. Can you see the vision? How stinking cute and cottagey is it? I just adore this fabric. Let me show you. There, that's a better angle. How sweet is it? And super cottagey with like the little ladybugs and bees. Beautiful color and tone, and just goes, dare I say, perfectly with the color of the blanket box, like that color of that flower. Oh, it's just in perfect harmony with that. Oh, I love it so much. I'm gonna have to figure out how to sew that. Obviously, I've just folded it around to give myself a little bit of an indication of what it looks like, but I love it. I'm sitting on it and it is quite comfortable. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be fighting over this seat. The dream is that I could find some similar blanket boxes that I could then put on the other side of this wall and have it be kind of like an L shape. But it took me like 6 months to find this blanket box. I don't know if I'm going to have another miracle like that. It is Saturday, the 20th of June, and I've just been out shopping, which was a good shopping outing, but I don't do it that often, and it shows people really getting on my nerves, so I'm happy to be home. Tonight I am heading out to the Meet the Artist night. I'm participating in a group exhibition called The Female Gaze at a women's only salon. It's closing tonight and they're doing a final night and evening event, Meet the Artist, so I'm hoping there's a few people there. No one's reached out to me to purchase any of my artworks yet. That was the arrangement. Fingers crossed maybe tonight someone might love one of them. That'd be a really nice end to the financial year, not gonna lie. But as you can see, I went to Spotlight and I grabbed some seat cushions for my dining table, kind of part of my dining area revival, but also mostly because now I've put, which I didn't really record, I recorded for Instagram but not for the vlog because I was in my pajamas at the time, but I put the rollers, the wheels on the legs of the table to sit it up, which is lovely for a tall person like me, but I am conscious I have friends who are not so tall. So I'm hoping this added extra bit of cushioning not only makes it a comfortable seat, but boosts them up a little bit. So I'll put that together. All right, all ready to go to the Meet the Artist night. New top that I got today for ridiculously cheap. Looking good, feeling good. A bit nervous, excited because I don't really know anyone there, but it's an art crowd. They're going to be lovely, of course. They always are. It's Sunday. I tried to take some content last night. It's a smaller space and there were quite a few people in there, which was fabulous. A lot of other artists there, which I got chatting to, and was really lovely evening. But I also just felt a little bit awkward about filming, especially given the nature of the art. I just wanted to kind of be respectful of that as well, and also because this is YouTube, I don't want to get reported or anything, so I was trying to make sure that the content is safe. So sadly, no one approached me about buying any of my artworks. I'm going to go collect them later this week, so there's still a few days. Maybe someone will grab them. I don't think so, which is a shame, but it is what it is. I was really mostly, honestly, hoping to clear out some space in the studio. I have a few things on this afternoon and I'm having friends over for the winter solstice. I've got a couple hours before I head off and I want to do some painting. And because it's the winter solstice, I'm going to try my hand at painting some northern lights with my watercolors. We'll see how they go. I've only ever done watercolor northern lights once a few years ago, so I'm a bit rusty. I was looking up my beautiful friend Trupti, she's got some guidance on Blue Pine Art's website, so I was rereading that to remember how I did it last time, which was handy. But I'm going to use the beautiful handmade Blue Pine Art's paper because I know that's going to get me a good effect and that's going to be really useful. I love my Fabriano paper, the one I usually use, but I do find for artworks that are heavily reliant on wet, which is the technique you really do use for Northern Lights paintings, the handmade cotton paper just evenly distributes the water quite well, and dries quite evenly, and it doesn't leave too much of that cauliflowering effect. So whereas the Fabriano paper, the more mass manufactured paper, sometimes in large expanses it doesn't dry evenly, and that partly is about how you apply the water to the page. You have to be really considered. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to try and film using my canvas lamp for socials. So if you're watching this and you follow me on Insta, you'll already know whether this turned out or not. Hello, it is Friday the 26th of June, which means we've got less than a week left of the month. This week did not go as planned in a few ways. I think last I recorded it was the Sunday and I was having friends over, which was absolutely lovely. Really delightful evening with the girls, and we got a bit crafty and it was a lot of fun. I did make progress on this Northern Lights painting, and what I think I've done is I think I've painted on the wrong side, possibly, because you can really see the texture, like the cross hatch of the paper. So then I got another sheet out and I tried again and it's a bit better. I just am really not experienced with doing this type of watercolor painting, and so I was really trying to give myself grace. As I've mentioned, I haven't really been doing too much watercolors this year, but I was also getting a bit frustrated, and that's because there's some stuff been happening personally. So we this week had to say goodbye to our lovely family dog Layla, which sweet thing she is. We had her for longer than we thought we would. She got really sick last year, end of last year, and so we've known all of this year that every day was a blessing. I don't want to get teary on this. Anyway, so that's, I won't say anymore because I don't want to get teary. But so we had to say goodbye to her. That was the absolute right thing for my family to do. They're up in Brisbane, so I was not there. But last time I was up there, the last two times actually, because she surprised us by holding on so long, and not suffering holding on, but she just she, you know, kind of defied the odds of how long we thought she'd be with us. And I got to say my goodbye last time I saw them. You know, that is a comfort that it didn't come as a complete surprise and that I got to say what I needed to say to her. But it has meant that my mind's been a bit jumbled this week, and as much as art is my refuge, I also I think doing these watercolors, like trying to do something new when my brain is also already not in a great space, was probably not the best thing to do. So I am planning to paint this weekend because art is really therapeutic and it is really good for your well-being. So I'm going to get back into it. I may or may not work on these I'm not unsatisfied with how they look. They're kind of cool, and honestly the sky, it looks quite light there. It actually was quite light in the picture, and ironically I think I like this one that I think I may have painted on the wrong side of the paper. Goes to show, you know, you can make these things work for you. But I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do some acrylics. I don't really have too many plans this weekend. Tonight I'm going to the ice hockey, which will be a lot of fun. So I've got that tonight, and then I don't really have too many plans this weekend. So my unplanned plan is to just be doing a bit of art and just tending to my soul in that way. I did do the little postcards. I finished this one, which I really love. It was after I was getting really frustrated with these ones. I was like, I just need something that's familiar. And this one was mostly done, so I just kind of added the final touches to that. So I'll probably do some of these. I'm not going to hold myself to too much of the business admin side of things. It is Sunday, so we've only got a few more days left of the month. I'm feeling a bit quieter. It's been a good weekend. Ice hockey on Friday night was amazing. I swear it's the best ice hockey game I've ever seen. Canberra Rave, the home team, scored 10 points, which is insane. So that was a lot of fun. And then Saturday, gosh, I can't even really remember what I did yesterday. I'm a little bit lower energy today because this afternoon I did a little post for my social media to share that Layla had passed away, and that got me really emotional. So I decided to come into the studio, and I've been painting for the last couple of hours. And so I think last time I showed you, I got that one finished, but I also finished this one. And I did a whole other print as well, all in one sitting. I got that one, a painting, not print, that painting done as well. So I've got 3 of my postcard paintings done, which is awesome. And I'm trying to film them as a little bit of a series for social media too. I'm not really filming too much for the vlog process-wise of those ones. I've been really just trying to be gentle with myself, not feeling too much pressure to do everything when my mind's a bit jumbled, you know, dealing with loss. So I'm doing what I can. I was feeling a bit overwhelmed last night of all of the ideas I have for this business and just the brain power it takes to get through all of that is a bit challenging sometimes, and trying to give myself grace and be gentle with myself that I just can't do it all the time. As much as I would it energizes me doing this stuff, but it also takes a lot of energy. It's a bit of a contradiction. I've got all these grand plans, and some of them may get off the ground, some might not at all. And it's a matter of, for those latter ones, do I keep pushing? Do I try and, keep striving at pushing people, asking people? I really just wish someone would reach out and go, hey, do you want to collab on this? But unfortunately, I'm not that big an artist or business that people know me to reach out and collaborate with me. It's not happened with me. So that being said, if you're watching this and you want to collab, let me know. So for now, I need to do the work myself, but there is only so much energy I can expend on that because, frankly, the whole point of all of this is for me to create art. So I need to remember that and not get caught up in the other parts of the business. I'm so sorry that this vlog has ended up being another talk to camera. I hope you can appreciate that the month has definitely taken a different turn than I expected it to. But this is probably the last talking to camera I will include because I've probably done too much of that this month. Thank you as always for watching along. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the support. Should be a bit more variety in the content of the vlog next month. I'm gonna leave you with some painting clips, but I hope you stick around and come back to see July's vlog, where I'm going to be sharing more of my art and soul.